happy, my son. We will miss you.
Don't cry, Bua. I'll be back soon.
Take care, brother.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a genuinely heartwarming story about a newlywed couple and his wife. Our goal here? We want to extract the exact blueprint for a healthy, long-lasting partnership directly from their real-world experience. You know, we love taking these fascinating stories and breaking them down into clear, actionable insights. Seriously, if you've ever found yourself wondering what actually makes a marriage, or honestly any deep relationship, stand the test of time once that initial honeymoon phase fades away, well, you are in exactly the right place.
So, what truly builds a lasting relationship? It's a question as old as time, right? Almost everyone asks it at some point. But rather than looking at those grand, cinematic gestures or, wildly expensive gifts, we're going to treat Kapil's very first night of marriage as a practical case study to answer this exact question. We're zooming in on the micro-decisions made in a single evening that literally set the tone for decades of happiness.
Section 1. The Post-Wedding Reality. Let's set the scene and acknowledge the incredibly high emotions of Kapil's wedding day. Just think about what a wedding actually entails. After months of stressful preparation, being surrounded by extended family, the loud music, the non-stop laughter, the heavy celebrations finally wrap up. The guests head home, the venue falls completely quiet, and suddenly the couple is alone for the very first time as husband and wife.
As they walked into their room, Kapil noticed something right off the bat. His wife was understandably super nervous. I mean, put yourself in her shoes and think about her emotional reality in that moment. She had just left her parents' home, which is an absolutely massive life transition for anyone. Plus, she'd been introduced to dozens of new relatives in a matter of hours, capping off a highly emotional, totally draining day. This kind of immense exhaustion from massive life changes, it creates a very vulnerable state of mind.
Which brings us to Section 2, Comfort over Expectations. This is where Kapil makes a crucial, defining choice for their marriage right then and there.
In this exact moment, you have this stark contrast between two entirely different approaches to starting a marriage. On one hand, you've got this immense societal pressure for the perfect wedding night, expecting everything to be flawless and rushing the experience because of those heavy expectations. But on the other side, we have the quiet, grounding reality that Kapil actually chose, offering kindness, patience, and something as incredibly simple as a glass of water. He recognized the human being sitting in front of him and paid attention to what she actually needed right then. To ground the moment, he kept it so incredibly simple. First, he offered a warm smile and that glass of water. Second, he explicitly acknowledged her exhaustion, literally just telling her, hey, it's been a long day, you must be exhausted. And third, they just sat down together. No pressure, no expectations. They shared funny moments from the wedding and swapped childhood stories they had never even told each other before. By doing this and totally taking the pressure off, her nervousness just melted away, because she realized he simply wanted to know her better without trying to impress her. Moving right along to Section 3, Becoming a Team. This brings us to the most pivotal conversation of the whole night, where they laid out their ground rules for the rest of their lives.
Kapil looked at her and said, "From today onward, we're a team." He told her they were going to solve every problem together, celebrate every single success together, and support each other no matter what happened. Just imagine hearing that after such an exhausting, emotionally charged day. It's exactly what you'd want to hear. Those words instantly made her feel safe and completely relieved her worries about whether married life was going to be difficult.
Building on that incredible sense of safety, they started mapping out their shared life. They talked about their travel dreams, they planned the kind of home they hoped to build one day, and they fully committed to supporting each other's careers and families. But most importantly, and this is key, they promised honest communication, especially when life got challenging. They spent hours doing this, basically establishing this unbreakable foundation of mutual understanding right out of the gate.
The core philosophy behind all this was profound, yet really simple. Kapil explicitly assured her that trust takes time to grow. It's a slow burn. He made it clear there would never be any pressure to do anything she was uncomfortable with. By actually stating this out loud, he proved she married someone who cared about her feelings just as much as his own. Before finally going to sleep, they thanked each other, hoped for a happy future and good health for their families, and promised to always treat one another with kindness.
Section 4. The 4 Pillars of Love. Fast forward a bit, as weeks turned into months, the remarkable part is that they actually stuck to those promises.
Their relationship grew so strong that their friends literally began asking them why their marriage seemed so incredibly peaceful compared to everyone else's.
When friends pressed him for his secret, Kapil gave them a surprisingly precise formula. For them, love becomes stronger when it's built equally on 4 distinct pillars: 25% patience, 25% respect, 25% honesty, and 25% communication. It's like a perfectly balanced equation. If any one of those elements is missing or compromised, the whole foundation shakes.
Think about how you handle disagreements in your own life for a second. Kapil and his wife actively practice these pillars every single day. When a disagreement pops up, we all have a choice, right? Shouting versus listening. When your partner feels worried, you have a choice: ignoring them versus offering genuine support. They consistently chose to listen and support each other during the rough patches, and they always made sure to celebrate the little wins together along the way.
And finally, Section 5, a lasting foundation. Let's project into the future to see how this groundwork they meticulously set on night 1 directly correlated to their lifelong success.
Looking back years later along their timeline, we can really trace the journey. From the beautiful chaos of the wedding day to the quiet intimacy of that first night, through all those weeks and months of practicing patience and communication, all the way to years down the road. Tracking this, they realized a profound truth. Their peace wasn't built in a single magical night. It was built through countless continuous moments of care that just kept compounding over time.
So, here is the absolute crucial point. When they looked back on how their marriage started, what actually stood out? Well, they didn't remember the flashy, expensive decorations or the fancy venue or the extravagant gifts. None of that. They remembered that very first night. They remembered the specific conversation that started everything, the exact moment they intentionally chose to become true partners by listening and respecting each other above all else.
Which leaves us with this final, important thought. Who do you share your journey of trust with? Whether you're married, dating, or just building meaningful, deep friendships, remember that love grows through consistent respect and kindness. It is a daily, intentional choice. If you found this breakdown insightful, do me a favor and share this explainer with someone you are building that trust with so you can both reflect on your own foundation together. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you on the next explainer.